Alright guys, I need y'all to lock in and hear me out for a couple minutes. I'm sure some of you would usually scroll past this video, but if there's any time to watch any of my videos, any of my reviews, now is the time. This film comes out next week on the 23rd. I'm sure many of you probably haven't even heard about it yet, which is understandable. There hasn't been much marketing behind it. I just got an early screener for this. Guys, this is the surprise of the year, I promise you. In my opinion, this is the best horror movie of 2024. Let me put y'all on real quick.
So I'm gonna have to ask you a question. Are you a serial killer?
What did you just say?
What is going on, my horror fans and friends? It is your boy Woodsboro Fanatic, and we are back with day 23 of my horror movie challenge, watching and reviewing a film I have never seen before. Today's film is Strange Darling, a 2024 horror thriller directed and written by J.T. Mullner, starring Willa Fitzgerald and Kyle Gallner. And again, this isn't out yet. It will be out next week, but guys, keep your eyes out for this one. I'm going to be very careful about what I say in this review because this is a film you absolutely need to go into this blind. Other than seeing the trailer, you should know nothing about this film. I got to stay for a live Q&A after the film, and that was something that the directors and actors really emphasized. This is a film that you do not want to be spoiled. And basically what I'll say for the plot is this is a one-night stand gone wrong. That's all I'll say. Starting this off, I just want to say that movies like this are why I absolutely love this genre. Movies like this are why I love talking about them, why I love doing this in particular. The experience of having your expectations subverted is truly a thrill, and it's a delight. The way this movie is written and structured is so clever, and it's honestly unlike anything I've ever seen. From the very first shot in the opening of this film, it is extremely effective in forcing the audience to paint their own picture or narrative as to what the hell is going on. And from that very first shot, it seems like you get a clear idea, but this movie keeps you on your toes throughout the whole runtime. Full of twists and turns and surprises, but they are all subversions and twists that feel natural and organic, and they all have a purpose within the story. There's never a time throughout this film where any of that feels forced. One of the best qualities of this film is how natural and organic all of it feels. Nothing is placed within the film just for the sake of being there. Everything has its purpose, everything feels deliberate, and everything has intent. It's shot on film instead of digitally, which enhances the naturalism behind all of it. And watching the Q&A, the director also talked about how they kind of paid tribute or nodded at earlier eras of film where the soundtrack had songs that were only written or composed by one artist, and that was the exact same approach they took here. I thought that approach was well executed. The soundtrack is beautiful throughout this film. From the shot placement to the set design to the framing to the score to the props, everything in this movie is deliberately placed. It all has its reasoning, and something about that is just so beautiful. It was very moving to me as a viewer. I watched this by myself, so maybe that had a deeper impact on me, but there was so many beautiful qualities about this film, especially the color schemes and the lighting choices. The colorization and the cinematography feels very intimate, and to me this was a beautiful example of movies being more than just a form of media or entertainment. This is truly pure art, and not everybody's going to understand that, but to me it was just so moving. The cinematography is gorgeous, nothing short of amazing, and the cinematographer himself just a superb job. I was truly in awe throughout the entire runtime because it's incredible how such an overlooked aspect of filmmaking can manage to ignite so many different emotions and provide such significance to the story at hand. To me, it's beautifully poetic from that perspective. This is an exceptionally clever script. As a writer myself, I love the way this story is structured and the way it manages to constantly keep you invested. It's split into 6 different parts, but it's told in a non-linear manner, unlike most horror films, where in most horror films you get a definitive first, middle, and final act. This one is told, again, from 6 different parts that jump back and forth all over the place. It's a very fascinating approach towards writing a story, and the best part about it was that it still feels cohesive and they managed to give you enough context throughout to, allow you to follow along. This is a very contained story, so there's not very many characters involved throughout the film, but Kyle Gallner is cementing his legacy as a modern-day Scream King with yet again another brilliant performance. And Willa Fitzgerald, while I haven't seen too much of her work, is absolutely mesmerizing in this film. Both of these talents play extremely fascinating characters in this movie, and the chemistry between the two of them is intoxicating almost. It's very genuine, and it's such a strong element throughout this whole film. The movie explores themes and situations that are certainly prevalent in today's society, and I think the realism of the concept, the circumstances, and the dialogue between the characters makes this not only believable but also relatable for many. I thought that the story at hand was beautiful yet extremely tragic in a way. Wrapping this up though, guys, I genuinely have no negative points for this film. This was perfect to me. This was a masterpiece, and this truthfully is one of the best horror thrillers I have seen in quite some time. The trailer does a great job at misleading things too, so watching it won't expose you to any spoilers at all, but you should absolutely go into this blind knowing nothing other than what is presented to you in that trailer. If you stayed to watch this whole review, just know I appreciate the hell out of you, genuinely. Guys, please go support this film. This needs all the eyes on it. This needs as much acknowledgement as possible.